And welcome back to another episode of Tidal Flooding Talk, brought to you by the New Jersey Coastal Coalition in conjunction with our broadcast partners at Tri-X 57. I'm Joe Martucci. We have Palm Shiles here. Dan Skeldon could not make it tonight, unfortunately. We should have him back for our next episode, though. He had a few parenting things going on, which I think we can all understand. Palma, holidays are in full swing. We know it's your favorite holiday, Christmas coming up. And like you told us last week, you're done shopping. So what are you doing now? Just kicking your feet up, just lounging around, having a cocktail or something?
I didn't say I was done. I just said that I got started in September, so I'm not, panicking at the moment. But
Okay.
you always have to get last minute gifts at the end. But no, it's been a very happy Christmas season with the little one watching, it's fun seeing a 2.5-year-old like experiencing Christmas movies and stuff for the first time. So yeah.
Let me ask you this: Are you on Spotify or like YouTube Music, Palma?
I actually use Apple Music, which
Okay, I like Apple
I
Music.
get made fun of for all the time, but
Oh no, I think they have the best user interface. But what I was going to say is, some of my parent friends, when they do their rewind for the year, they have like there are then it says like Disney or like Moana or something. I didn't know if you were in the same boat
they're
on.
all thrown off. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know if you were in the same boat on that one too. No, that was all. All right. Well, speaking of gifts, we have a really big gift this year. The Geo Collaborate and Storm Center Communications. We've partnered with them to create a new web app for flood communications with the public. And here today to talk about it is Dave Jones and Dr. Ellen Prager from Geo Collaborate. Dave and Ellen, I feel like I'm best friends with you since I talk to you every other day, but I will formally say welcome to the New Jersey Coastal Coalition's Tidal Flooding Talk.
Thanks, Joe. It's
Thanks,
great to be
Joe.
here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think on our perspective, what we really liked, and when we started talking with you, and I guess it was early summer, late spring about this, was the amount of flexibility this dashboard has, and kind of the way we see this is eventually answering a question that a lot of emergency managers have, which is we get told sometimes, like, Joe, like, we know that there's all this NOAA data out there and official data, but it's just not in one place. Like, we have 1,000 links, we just can't find it. And like, that's like the beauty of this Geo Collaborate dashboard that we do have. And then also the ability to send out messages to people about flooding alerts. So I just want to know, why don't we start off with this? Where can people find the dashboard first in the New Jersey Coastal Coalition? What's the public site? And then two, what was your take on some of the early conversations you had with us? Because I think we kind of came from a slightly different perspective than what you usually offer to your client.
Yeah, I mean that's it's a great question, Joe, and hello, Palma. It's great to have you here and meet you for the first time. I think, Joe, when we first developed Geo Collaborate, it was really to answer a grand challenge from the federal government side of the house, and that was how can federal agencies access and share data more efficiently across platforms? Because in many federal agencies, they are very stovepiped and they have developed their own systems to display their own data. And certainly everybody thinks they have the best dashboard and mapping applications. So sharing across them was very difficult. And so we developed GeoCollaborate to make it easier to share data across platforms, tablets, computers, put people in the same collaboration environment. In other words, on the same map at the same time, looking at the same data. And probably, Ellen, you can, add to this or correct me if you think I need to be. And that's that, the big challenge in any looking at any type of data, or say you want to make a forecast, or you want to look at something online with a map, finding the data is the toughest thing. I think it's one of the toughest things. And we've talked to many analysts who use mapping environments who spend about 80% of their time looking for data so they can spend another 10% analyzing it and the final 10% creating a product. So it makes it very easy in a geo-collaborate environment for a leader to turn on and off trusted data sets, and then they turn on for everybody else, and they can stage the dashboard through which, like in the New Jersey Coastal Coalition, anyone will be able to access and take a look at what layers you're turning on.
And that website's njcc.geocollaborate.com/dashboard that you can check out. So anyway, Palma, over to you.
How user friendly would this be for, just regular people, and when would they want to use it?
So maybe I can jump in here with a little bit about one of the other reasons I think it's a little bit different and why people might like it is, I'm a scientist, and even I go out to some of these portals to look for data, and they're really hard to use and they're overwhelming. You start looking at all the data layers and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I want. And I could say that as a scientist. So one of the nice things about the way this will work for the New Jersey Coalition and the people who want to see the data is that the layers are curated from all different places. So there could be one from NASA, there could be one from NOAA, there could be one locally. And so Joe principally has chosen those layers and put them on the dashboard. And then you don't have to go out and find them. They're already there, and people can go to the dashboard and click them on and off to see them. That's literally how easy it is. The layers are already there. They're not overwhelming numbers. They're all relevant to the issues that people who live there face. And so you basically just go on and click on and off. You can zoom around. It's very simple.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say, Joe, that what Ellen said, I'll stress it a little bit, and that is GeoCollaborate's designed, and Palma, it's designed to work for people who really don't have any mapping experience or internet, savvy. You go to the dashboard, you look at it, you can use your mouse to zoom in or zoom out, but you can click on the data sets that are turned on. So if there is a coastal flood advisory, it will light up on the map and you can click it and then see what the official Weather Service statement says. And so that's really, it has been described in the past as the Apple of GIS. So that's kind of like for ease of use. We haven't used that in marketing because I have to check to see if we can, but
good point.
Probably can't.
Yeah.
So how often is it updated, or is it just always live? And can everyone trust that this information is current?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the data is always live on the dashboard. So if the Weather Service issues an advisory, it will pop on to the map and it will stay there until it expires. And you can click on it, like I said, and read what that advisory is about. And any other data sets that Joe might want to create. Let's just say, for example, there's some localized flooding occurring in Longport. And Joe can zoom down in as a leader, create a geospatial message in just the area where flooding is being reported, and type in a message saying flooding is being reported here. So stay away from this area. We'll keep you posted. And that geospatial message will stay displayed on everyone's dashboard until Joe turns it off.
Awesome. We're going to take our first break here. We'll come back on the other side with Tidal Flooding Talk. Thanks to the New Jersey Coastal Coalition, your flood insurance bills are lower and your streets safer from the reality of flooding. Since beginning in 2013, we build more resilient shoreline communities. Our member towns develop and share in best practices that anticipate future concerns and create flooding solutions. From our town-specific free web app for flooding information to our weekly Tidal Flooding Talk show, we focus on flooding 24/7. Visit www.njcoastalcoalition.com for more.
Hello, welcome back. You're watching Tidal Flooding Talk. We are brought to you by the New Jersey Coastal Coalition, and we would like to remind our viewers to protect your property from flood hazards. Don't let floodwaters damage your property or worse, put you in danger. Just 2 feet of moving water can carry a car away. Stay aware of flood-prone streets and park on higher ground when heavy rain is in the forecast. And remember, driving through flooded roads is never worth the risk. Turn around, don't drown.
Awesome. And we are back here with Dave Jones and Ellen Prager of GeoCollaborate. Dave, you're gonna in a tidal flooding talk first. We're having you share your screen and walking us through how to use the dashboard as a resident in one of our New Jersey Coastal Coalition towns.
Sure. That sounds great, Joe. Thanks for that. And that's awesome. We're doing a first here. Hopefully it all goes smoothly.
Hopefully.
I'm sharing what I have up here, and that is the dashboard for GeoCollaborate. And I'm just going to point out a couple of things here. And that is the first thing that you might notice when you go to that dashboard address, Joe, that you provided, and that you see this orange ticker that's going across the top of the screen. This is something that Joe will control and put up various messages as the weather gets concerning, or any meetings coming up or local messages. They will come up on here and scroll across the dashboard. On the upper left-hand side is the date and the time, and also the time in Greenwich Mean Time, which is also called Zulu time. This is sort of a lot of weather information and models and things like that are based on this time, but it's converted also to the current time here. What you also see is this white area. This is the key points window that can be moved around on the dashboard. This is, you can think of this as a one-way chat, basically. This is a bulletin board, key points that the New Jersey Coastal Coalition wants you to know as a resident. What is happening? You can click on this first link up here to see Joe's latest forecast for New Jersey. You can see the latest tidal flooding talks that'll be up here. That's something that the New Jersey Coastal Coalition can change daily or hourly if they want to. And then some other pertinent information. And you can scroll with your mouse here or just grab this and scroll it down with the mouse. And so what you see on the main part of the dashboard is what's going on in the weather world as far as Weather Service advisories are concerned. So you can see off the coast of New Jersey right now, there are small craft advisories in effect. You can click on that to see what it means, who issued that office. And for most of New Jersey, it's really the Mount Holly office that issues those advisories. And then if you want to see details of the bulletin, well, that went to their API. We'll have to go back and look at that and see what the bulletin is. Usually it goes right to the Weather Service advisory, telling you when it's been issued, what it's about, how long it remains in effect. And that's the small craft advisories here. Now, the other cool thing about this is it's not just Weather Service advisories, but we can see real-time ocean observing system data that's being collected here. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you'll see the data resolve, and you'll see the coastal flood, or not coastal flood, but small craft advisories in effect. But you can click on these buoys out here and see data in real time. This is station 44091. It's the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers buoy. You can see it reports significant wave height. It's the location here, the time of that observation, the dominant wave period, 10 seconds. So surfers will find this probably very useful information. The air temperature and the water temperature, 52 degrees. So a lot different than the summertime months where everybody goes to the beach. There are also other coastal observing stations here. There's one here, the New Jersey Atlantic Coast and Atlantic City location for tides, and it also lists here where they're available the top 10 tidal levels, water levels. So the first one here, 8.98 feet, 12/11, December 11th, 1992. You can look at number 3. We all know that one. That's Sandy, right?
Yes.
Sandy is quite a benchmark throughout New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, New York, of
Yep.
course. And so you'll see that information there on some of these stations. Now, if you zoom in even more, you'll see wherever these yellow dots are these tidal stations that have the top 10 tides on them. So when forecasts get issued or coastal flood advisories get issued or coastal flood warnings, then you'll be able to compare that forecast level to these top 10, right? Where is that going to land in the top 10? And if it's in the top 10, it should probably be concerning, right, Joe?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. We even had, you see number 4 there in Absecon, 743, 7 feet 40. Oh my gosh, 7.43 feet. That was from the nor'easter that we had this past October, and that brought again significant flooding to the area. Dave, I mean, really, as we've said many times, all really good stuff here. Can you tell us, what is the difference in what a user would see as part of the New Jersey Coastal Coalition, and someone who's not a town that's not in the coalition? It'd have to do with the messaging, correct?
Yeah, so anybody within New Jersey will be able to access this dashboard with this address. But those within the Coastal Coalition towns, and we have them identified here with the New Jersey Coastal Coalition logos, you'll be able to see special messaging. So when alerts get issued, as long as you who live in the town subscribe to the alert network, then you will get either a text, a phone call, or an email with specific information from the National Weather Service that's worded in such a way that the New Jersey Coastal Coalition thinks will be much more friendly for you. Then you'll get that alert to whatever device you want, which is really quite special because not only will weather alerts get issued, but the lead emergency manager for each town or authorized personnel can issue their own messages to your phone or to your email. And that might be something like, hey, trash day's changed, right? We're not having collection tomorrow. It's going to be the next day. Or remember the parade. These roads are going to be closed. So it opens up the doors to very relevant and local alerts and informational content to be sent to all the New Jersey Coastal Coalition town residents who register for the service.
Awesome. Any final things you wanted to share on this, Dave?
Just that the dashboard has a menu that you can open up. And when you open up that menu, the data layers that the New Jersey Coastal Coalition has determined to be relevant to today or this week's weather situation, they'll be the ones that are turned on. So this is really tailored to those users who live in New Jersey and in the Coastal Coalition towns. So like Ellen said earlier, it's not something that's going to be full of data that you have to say, what's this? What's that? I don't know what that means. You can always click on a link here and it'll tell you what it is, the beach zone forecasts that you want to look at. And that's what these strips are right here. You can see beach zone forecast where they give rip current, UV index, and surf height. So if it's any danger and there's any rip currents expected, this will light up in different colors from this color to yellow to red, indicating danger. So there's a lot more to the dashboard. You can change base maps. You can change things like that. but really it's all a process of introducing this really critical information related to New Jersey coastal flooding and threats that might exist, to evolving this into really a community-based dashboard that can be really a lifesaver for many people who may not expect flooding when flooding is coming.
Yep. And, as we say, safety is free at the NJCC. And this is one of the ways that we're doing that. So, all right. Well, hopefully this Zoom, our first ever shared screen here on the Zoom worked. We're going to take a brief break. We'll come back to you on the other side here with Tidal Flood. And we're back. So we had a really good session exploring the GeoCollaborate dashboard. And for everybody here that's listening or watching, that is for you. Even if you're not in the New Jersey Coastal Coalition, there's something for you on the dashboard. If your town's not in the New Jersey Coastal Coalition, and you'll see it because you'll see what towns are in the coalition, because you'll see the little NJCC logo there in orange. Talk to someone in your town. Talk to your emergency management official, your floodplain manager, your mayor, whoever, someone, and we can get them in. Joining the Coastal Coalition is free, and it does deliver benefits to you when it comes to flooding here. So, Dave and Ellen, like you kind of said at the beginning, we're not the only people, you work for, right? You do a lot with on the federal government level. Tell us about some of that, and in particular, your work that you did over the hurricane season.
Great, sure, yeah. We work with NOAA to help them understand when they fly the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, where those surface ocean observing systems are located, so they can use GeoCollaborate to help with their flight planning for the Hurricane Hunter aircraft. They can see real-time data in the ocean. We can track the P3s, the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, and the G4 live as they're flying around the storms, which is great. And we can see their drop-ons when they drop out. We can take a look at the path they're taking around the hurricane circulation, and then also click on the latest observation before they drop into the ocean. So NOAA is very thankful that we were able to utilize GeoCollaborate, particularly during the shutdown, because the other systems that they used weren't working. They were shut down, and GeoCollaborate was one of the only capabilities to track the planes in real time and also overlay this other data. We also work with the All Hazards Consortium, which has about 45,000 stakeholders. They move utility trucks across state boundaries to get to restore power quicker. And they need weather briefings. So we produce weather briefings for them quite frequently. We put that on our YouTube channel. We talk about impacts for upcoming weather. And also they use the weather briefings for restoration times. What's the weather going to be like over the next week or two as they restore power? So that's something there that's also really being used and appreciated from a GeoCollaborate standpoint. And the other one is IUS. Ellen, you want to talk about the IUS work that we're doing there?
Sure. We've been working with the Integrated Ocean Observing System and the regional associations to really get people more aware of ocean observations and what's being done, the buoys that are out there, undersea gliders, what's called HF radar, but all sorts of things that these associations are doing in regions around the country. And a lot of people don't know that that data is available and it can help them in various ways. It's used in search and rescue. It's used in maritime safety and security. all sorts of ways, just even trying to figure out if the beach is safe or what the conditions are like for hurricanes and to forecast. So we've been working with them, we've been creating videos, working on sort of a strategy for communication and developing things for new stakeholders and reaching out. So it's been really fun. I mean, I'm a marine scientist by training, and I'm really focused on how do we get the public more engaged in the oceans and understanding and using data.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
really like the features of this app for many different reasons. And Ellen, what you were just saying, like I wouldn't even know where to begin looking for that data. And so this is nice to know, okay, this is accurate information because it's all coming from a reliable source. And one thing in particular that I noticed when you were sharing your screen is I liked the top 10 tide or flood levels because we were just talking last episode. It really does help knowing, okay, I can compare that to, this next storm that's coming. I can compare it to, I know where the water came up for Hurricane Erin or that nor'easter on 10/13. So I think that's going to be helpful for sure.
Yeah, everybody has a benchmark storm, right? And living here in Annapolis, Isabel is our benchmark.
Yeah.
When that storm came up in 2003, and there was an 8 to 11 foot storm surge coming up to Chesapeake Bay. So we certainly don't like to see that kind of stuff. But yeah, everybody I think is going to find that very, very useful.
Cool. We're gonna wrap it up here. Like we say every week, time goes by way too fast on Tidal Flooding Talk. But tell everybody when they can find out more about Geo Collaborate and Storm Center Communication.
Sure, you can go to geocollaborate.com. You can go to stormcenter.com, and you'll probably end up at the same place. Feel free to get in touch with us. You can also get in touch with Joe. Send him a message, and he'll relay it to us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Your spokesperson.
you can follow us on LinkedIn or Facebook
Yep.
or Blue Sky. Dave and I, Dave Jones, Ellen Prager. Google us, you'll find us. It's not hard.
Google them. They're there. You'll see them. They're around. They're around.
Ellen's written 22 books, so you're gonna find
way
her
too
online.
much. Way too much. Oh, wait, that reminds me.
Yes.
We
Do
have
it.
to mention.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Great for Christmas presents. Megalodons, mermaids, and climate change. This is actually Dave and I together. Oh, I lost. There it is. Answers to your ocean and atmosphere questions.
Palma, that could be your last. You said you got a couple straggler
Yeah.
gifts. That could be it.
And that seems like it could, it hits a lot of topics there where a lot of different people would like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some really great, and there's graphic illustrations in there that we worked with an illustrator that are really funny. So there's some humor in there too. Easy to understand. These are questions that we and our colleagues are asked all the time, and some of the wackiest questions.
It's a lot of fun.
Wackiest questions. Yes, and you can find that pretty much anywhere, right? That book, Alan?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much
Online,
anywhere.
bookstores.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think we'll count that as the one thing we can't stop talking about because I've seen you guys all over the internet talking about it. So I think that's great. I do have to pick up a copy myself. I have not done that yet. Don't hate me. But I will get one.
Geo Collaborate will text us when you order it. So thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good. I like that. Can you guys
We'll
sign it through Geo Collaborate too? You got like an auto pen going on?
Auto pen.
Our favorite one was we were on Paula Poundstone, the Comedian Her podcast about the book, and that was really fun. So it's a lot of fun. Again, it's made for non-experts. Just like Geo Collaborate. Think of it in another way, but we really wrote it for anybody, not science experts or.
Awesome.
Well, maybe after we read it, Joe, we'll have to have them back on.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have them back on for their book. We'll do our book review and then they can see what we think of. They can review our book review.
We would love it. We'll even,
that would be great.
We'll even sign the Zoom screen.
Yeah. Oh my God. Look at this. You guys are too kind. Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much for being on. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
For Palma Shiles, I'm Joe Martucci. Dan Skeldon will be back with us next week on Tidal Flooding Talk. We're looking forward to seeing you all then. Take care.